What's wrong? Well, now, let's be specific here. Human rights commissions are diverse in what they do. There are specific aspects of their work, and that would be the reaction to certain irritating, annoying, provocative expression. Is that a fair way to describe it?
That's what's wrong with what they're doing? Well, I think we should clarify. There are many human rights commissions in this country that don't have jurisdiction to deal with hate speech at all.
Right.
So we're only talking about Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan, the Canadian Human Rights Commission, I believe maybe the Northwest Territories. So the other human rights commissions already are spending all of their time dealing with discrimination in employment, in housing, as they well should be, and we think that's great. It's fantastic that
So just to clarify, every province has a territory of human rights commission, and there's a federal one too.
There is a federal human rights commission.
And only about half of those actually deal with expression.
Yeah, just under half. Okay. And then of the ones that do, it's 1 to 2% of the complaints that they receive that have to do with hate speech. So it's already a very, very tiny part of their role, and for many of the commissions, it wasn't even part of their original function.
So why do you have so much paperwork on your desk?
You know what it is? These are all the crazy cases that have been coming before the commissions, like Catholic Insight magazine and the Danish cartoons involving the Western Standard and the Chronicle Herald in Nova Scotia. I brought them all so I wouldn't forget all these wonderful examples of where it makes no sense to put forward a hate speech complaint when people are trying to discuss important issues.
Can I also make one point?
Yeah, before you do, because I'm in charge, and I like saying that to you.
You keep on telling me that.
I would see human rights commissions as, if people are denied a job or a home because of their race, sexuality, ethnicity, they don't have time and money to go to the courts, and they should not be denied those bases of life. They need a middle way for appeal, and I think human rights commissions, if they serve that purpose, are serving a fine and noble purpose.
I agree with you.
Is that most of the work of human rights commissions?
As far as I understand, that's all of the work of more than half of the human rights commissions, and that's 98 to 99% of the work of the rest of the human rights commissions.
All right. Then how that, even though you're talking about a tiny minority of what they do, how did this ever become an issue? Because unless it's my misreading the situation, we weren't discussing this 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I guess it depends who you call we. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association has been looking at these hate speech provisions for a very long time and saying there's something wrong here. There's something wrong when you have laws, whether it's in the criminal code or in the human rights codes, that says there are things that people can't talk about. There are things that people can't say, because as much as we may understand in polite society what is polite, what is impolite, we may have discussions about what is ethical or unethical, when the law comes into it and starts saying there are things you cannot discuss, there are things you can't say, then we have a problem. It becomes censorship, it has a chilling effect. It means that if somebody wants to put out a certain kind of religious viewpoint, they could find themselves before a human rights commission. If somebody wants to publish the Danish cartoons at a time where the whole world is talking about the Danish cartoons, and if somebody actually goes so far as to print them, they find themselves before a human rights commission. And in both of those cases, the complaints didn't go to a tribunal, they didn't go to a hearing, but it cost tens of thousands of dollars, $20,000 in the case of Catholic Insight, so it's reported, $100,000 in the case of the Danish cartoons involving the Western Standard, that they paid out in legal fees to make sure that those complaints didn't go forward.
Okay. You are going to hear from all sides, I guarantee that. So don't get angry yet. Get angry at the end of the show. After these commercials, we'll be back. We'll see you soon.